know, it's hard to have a conversation through an intercom when I've made it really clear. I sent an email earlier, someone is expecting me, and my name's Mrs. Goodridge.
They're expecting you here?
Yes.
Okay, 2 seconds.
Hello.
You shouldn't have to go to Gateway.
I'm not going to be given the runaround. I sent an email, I filled in all the forms. I'm waiting for someone to have a conversation with me that's not through the intercom. I'll repeat myself again. I sent an email. It came in earlier in the week. I was asked to telephone. I put it in writing. Someone should be expecting me today. And I've already been through the process of going to Gateway. I filled in all the forms. I've done it online. And I am expecting someone to speak to me today about my housing situation.
Okay, give me 1 minute.
Thank you.
Useless, isn't it?
Oh no, they just like to play this silly little game. What they're doing at the moment is they're trying to work out a strategy on how they can prevent giving out housing. That's what they're trying to do. But to key individual, you'll be okay. There's no disrespect. You're white, so you'll get housing, no problem at all.
No, I was homeless last year.
And you've got housing.
Yeah, I've got housing.
Okay, well that's what I mean. By virtue of the fact you're white, you get housing. I'm causing them a bit of a problem at the moment. So you're, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, and you got housing pretty much just like that, did you?
Well, no, it's on
Hello?
Hello, you shouldn't have to go to the day centre on Monday.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'm outside and I'm talking to a gentleman who's 29 years old and he was home. How long were you homeless for?
a year.
He was homeless for about a year. Have you got any children?
Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
Single nights.
Okay, so you're not, they just house you, they didn't house you with your children?
Nah.
Okay, well my family's broken because you haven't addressed my housing situation and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I'm starting to think there's a little bit more than what I understand. This guy's 29 years old and he was homeless for a year and you've housed him and he's not with his children. I'm 51 years old and I'd like to be reunited with my 12-year-old son as I'm entitled to be, and I filled in all the required forms with this authority and I was told within 30 days my situation would be addressed. That was a month and a half ago. So I'm not going to go back to the homeless unit because I've already been through that process.
Okay, that's what I've been told to tell you. Just go to this.
Can I take your name, please?
Pardon?
Your name?
I can't hear you. Might have to come a bit closer.
Sorry, can I take your name, please?
Yes, my name's Jade.
Jade. Can you call a senior manager, please, that I can speak to today about my housing situation?
Okay, just give me 1 minute.
Thank you, Jade. So,
Well, I'll just come in to see the council bloke that's working with me today. Can I call them there or do you want me to wait to see them?
no, you go ahead. So you're 29 years old and you've got housing.
Yeah, but it was...
Hello?
Hello, can I speak to Martin Smith, please?
Can I take your name?
James Taylor.
Right, 2 seconds.
You've got an appointment.
No, the thing was that they copped my house enough and that.
Have you got an appointment to see him today?
No.
Oh, so you haven't got an
No, but he
appointment?
works for me, and then if I come up here and he knows you, then he comes out.
Okay.
That's
Well, they
that's
do know me
one
because
that-
I've sent them
yeah.
quite a bit of correspondence, but she said it's just by appointment only.
Well,
but
he's
you
the
haven't
best
got-
one to talk to.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, did you both want to come through?
Thank you.
No, it took See, the first 7 years, I was on the housing register and that, and then they told me that it was mucked up. They put my points on my brother's housing list by
Oh, I
mistake.
can understand that there
So I
are
had to
errors.
restart it.
But do you
all
understand
again,
it from my
that
point of view?
process.
You're 29 years
Yeah,
old and you
yeah.
haven't got any children but your house. I'm
Yeah.
51 years old and I've got a 12-year-old son. My family is completely broken.
Did they
And I
not?
can't seem to get housing. I just don't understand what the difference between you and I is.
See, I did private rent as well.
Yeah, I've done all that.
Through,
I've exhausted
Northern
that.
Road.
And
Grace.
it's easy to do private renting when you have money. If you haven't got any money, you
Well,
can't
you don't
really...
have to with it, and that the bloke don't take any an upfront deposit down Grays up in Northern Road.
Yeah, but I'm at the council and I know there's loads of empty
Oh, right,
properties that are allocated to the council for
Yeah.
situations like this.
Yeah.
And what I have noticed is that if you get pregnant and
You
you
get
have a
a-
child,
yeah.
you sort of get housing. Well, I got pregnant 12 years ago and I have a 12-year-old. So I've ticked everything off on criteria wise, but I don't understand what the difference between you and I is. Why you managed to get housing with no children and I can't get it with one.
That's the worker, Martin Smith. He's the best one to have, this Martin Smith guy.
Oh.
So
And
he
then I
works-
just got here and she said it's by appointment only. You arrive and apparently you can turn up and see somebody.
Yeah, they've got a thing, haven't they? They've got a system. They try and...
Well, I see the system works that you can just rock up if you're a certain way and get to see them, but if you're somebody else, you can't.
I wanted to ask for help with the tablet and that, you know, cash generator. And I've left Rich. He was swearing, my mate, and he walked off.
All right. Well, I was going to give him a call now to see what's happening. All right.
Yeah.
Let me just call and put it in again, see what they're up to.
So you're Martin Smith, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're dealing with him, but you're not allocated to deal with anybody else here. I don't know who I'm supposed to see.
All right. Have you buzzed to
Well,
let nobody hear yet?
I buzzed to let them know I was here, and they said it was appointment only. And then this gentleman arrived, and apparently because he knows you, you can just rock up and see whoever when you want.
Well, it's because he's my client and I see him out in the community.
Oh right. Well, I have got a caseworker, so therefore I'm a client, but I can't seem to get hold of my caseworker.
Right. Who's that then?
I can't remember her name because I've dealt with so many different people here.
Right.
I mean, how long does an application take to go through to get housing? His seems to be meteoric, but mine seems to be a problem. But how, on average, what does it?
I think that's 6 weeks to 3 months sometimes.
To get housed?
No, to get the application processed.
Yeah, and so how long does it take to get housing?
Could take up to 7 years, depending on what your medical conditions are and stuff like that.
Okay. I'll explain again. I'm not trying to be facetious, and
No,
I'm
no.
not trying to be truculent. This gentleman's 29 years old, and he's got no kids, and he's been housed by the council, having spent an inordinate of town on the register and actually sleeping rough. My criteria is very similar to his criteria in terms of time, etc., etc. I filled in all the required forms. I'm 51 years old and have a 12-year-old. When is this council? When do you anticipate the council will house me?
No idea, because I don't know anything about your case and I don't deal with allocations.
Okay, so what side do you deal with?
I deal with people who've been street homeless.
Okay, so I've been street homeless, but I haven't come across you before.
No.
Alright. I'm just trying to determine
Yeah.
how long it will take this council to house
I
a
can't-
51-year-old
I
woman
can't
who's
answer
got...
that question for you because I don't work in allocations.
Oh. Did you have to go through allocations, or you just bypassed all that and went straight through to Mr. Smith?
No, I'll get help and all that with things like that.
I'm not going to talk about his case.
Oh,
to
no,
you.
no,
To-
oh, no,
to
no, you
relative.
can't talk about it, but I've asked him
Yeah.
questions and it's up to...
Well,
What's
it's
your
up
name?
to-
Sorry, I didn't even ask your
I'm
name.
going to go
Sorry,
phone
I'm so
because I'm
rude.
here to deal with his...
Alright, James.
James. If you're quite at liberty to say, oh, can you mind your own business, please? But I just...
No, he's alright, but then he's got there's loads and loads and loads of like, people that he helps.
Yeah, no, I understand
So
that.
once he knows you, then it's...
But the point I'm trying to make is I've had to go through allocations, but it doesn't sound like you had
He
to.
works down at Cranberry Avenue as well.
Oh, right.
Monday, Wednesday and Friday.
Can you
ask-
understand my frustration?
Yeah.
I've been down exactly the same route that you've been down. The only thing is I'm a woman and I have a child that is, I'm hoping to have resident with me. I've been homeless. I have literally slept on the street. So I've done exactly what you've done. But I've now got to go through an allocation process that you didn't have to go through because they seem to have housed you.
No, they cocked it up previously for 7 years. My council list. I did apply, then they done it again. Told me to do it again.
So they
And then he
fast tracked
helped.
you.
Oh yeah, because my mum had to go at the MP. No, Alan Whitehead. She wrote to him and everything and said, my son's wasted 7 years. You took his council points off him, made him restart it, and then he turned around, told him off, and then told him to find me a place. That's how we did it, because that Alan Whitehead used to work around like Southampton, and that, well, he still does. But that's how I got mine, was writing loads of letters to him. And then if
How
it's
long did they take to house you roughly? From when you were From when you were homeless,
a
is
year,
what?
March last year, I was homeless, and then I went through private renting, and all that down Northern Road. You had to put up with.
And how long have you been in your place where you are?
Since April.
Of this year?
Yeah. No, I know I'm lucky, and I know it's like a bad situation and all that with the housing thing, but
Especially when there's so many sitting
see,
next to
but
you,
he's
that's
a
what
good
mystifies me.
worker and that. He's a person that I'd.
Do you understand how I'd make the determination by virtue of the fact that you're white, you seem to get housing, and by virtue of the fact that I'm black, I have to jump through hoops? Do you understand how I might make that determination?
Yeah, but I don't think like that, because when
No,
I've
you
been
don't have
homeless,
to think
I've,
like that
I've
because
seen,
you're a white man.
No, the thing is that when I've been homeless, I've seen like people that I know, they're all white, so I don't really think there's like a race thing to it. But he does. He's a good,
You wouldn't think there's a race thing, but I
Oh,
know there is a race thing to it. By virtue
well,
of
no,
the
I
fact that you
thought
are
it was
white
more
and I'm
with
black.
kids. No, people having kids and getting housed.
Well, I've got a child,
You know, that's what I thought. Like,
and he's 12,
the-
so
yeah.
it just goes to show that I've been waiting for them to do something for a mightily long time, doesn't it? You know, if he was 18 months old, then it's, oh, she's one of those, she's gone and dropped a kid just so she can get a council place.
see, I signed up when I was 18, but then they told me that all that time my council points were forged or whatever, so they made me restart it again. So I would have got it a few years back.
You see, this is what I know. When somebody like Wimpy give the council or give the country a shed load of money to say build 100 houses, 40% of them get given to the council to house people that are not going to be able to get on the mortgage ladder, because there aren't any jobs in this country, let's just be honest. So, of that 40%, you're entitled to one of those houses. As I've explained, by virtue of the fact of your skin colour, you've been allocated one of those houses, and I hope you're very happy there. I shouldn't have to fight to get mine. Hi.
Get a free cubicle for you.
Say that again, sorry?
You can see if there's a cubicle free to see you in, okay?
That's great, thank you.
See, I had to kick up a fuss as well. It ain't
I shouldn't
easy,
have to kick
I
up
know.
a fuss.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to kick up a fuss.
No, but if you don't kick up a fuss, and it looks like they don't.
No, see what it is, they want me to kick up a fuss, and then they can phone the police and say, oh,
Yeah,
this lady's really truculent, and I've had all that before. You know, I'm not being aggressive to you. Number 3, thank you. James.
You'll get somewhere with them.
Oh, I better get somewhere. Thank you, James. And I apologize if you felt I was a bit intrusive. I just wanted to. Thank you.
Grab a seat.
Hi.
Fail.
Every circumstance is different. I understand that. I was just talking to that gentleman out there called James, and the first thing I noticed is when I turned up, the lady, oh, you have to go to Gateway because you need an appointment. And I thought, well, I sent an email. It's very clear. And then James arrived, and he said, oh, I'm here to see such and such. She didn't even ask him if he had an appointment. And then she allowed both of us graciously to come through. So that's the one point I want to make, that he was just, you know, passed through, and I seem to have to jump through hoops just to have this opportunity to have a conversation with you. Now, James has just explained